Ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to Jesus.Saints. Today, we travel back to a time long before kings, before the flood, before Abraham or Moses. We enter an ancient world full of mystery, a world where people lived for hundreds of years, and the line between heaven and earth still trembled with closeness. In that forgotten age walked a man unlike any other, a man who did not die, a man who pleased God so deeply that God took him alive. This is the full cinematic story of Enoch, the man who walked with God. In the early days of the world, after Adam and Eve had been cast out of the garden, their children and grandchildren began to fill the earth. Generations came and went, living long lives under the open skies. Some built cities, some wandered, and many turned their hearts away from the God who made them. The world began to grow older, but it also began to grow darker. It was in this ancient world that Enoch was born, a seventh-generation descendant from Adam through the line of Seth. He was born into a family that remembered Eden only in stories, passed down by mouth from father to son. But unlike the many others who lived during his time, Enoch did not follow the growing corruption of the world. From the time he was young, there was something different about him. His heart was quiet, and his eyes were always lifted toward the sky. He asked questions other men ignored. He would sit for hours in the fields, just listening to the wind, listening, as though waiting for something more. Enoch married, had sons and daughters, and lived among his people. But though his hands were busy with work and family, his heart was always with God. He built no kingdom, he fought no wars, he made no inventions. Yet what made Enoch special was something deeper, something eternal. He walked with God. What does that mean, to walk with God? It means that Enoch lived every moment of his life in relationship with the Creator. He did not simply believe in God, he lived in constant nearness to Him. While others ran after wealth or power or pleasure, Enoch walked in obedience. His days were filled with worship, trust, and quiet surrender. In a world growing cold with sin, he remained warm with heaven. People would often watch him as he wandered alone, speaking softly into the air, eyes shining as if looking at someone unseen. They would shake their heads, confused or amused, but they could not deny that something holy rested on this man. When he spoke, it was with a weight of truth. When he prayed, the air seemed to still. Enoch was also a prophet. He saw visions of what was coming. He warned the people of judgment, not just for their time, but for generations to come. He spoke of a future where God would return with thousands of holy ones to judge the world. His words were heavy, strange, and full of mystery. Many did not believe him, yet his voice echoed through the hills like thunder before the storm. And yet through all his warnings and all his visions, Enoch was gentle. He was a man of peace, full of kindness, humility, and quiet joy. His children loved him. His neighbors respected him, even if they didn't understand him. The earth was noisy with sin, but Enoch's life was like a garden, peaceful, tended, and full of light. Then came the day everything changed. Enoch was 365 years old. That may sound ancient to us, but in those days, men often lived 700, 800, or 900 years. He was still strong, still full of life. He had walked with God for 3 centuries, in storms and sunshine, in joy and grief, in silence and in song. On that final day, Enoch rose early as always. The morning sun lit the sky with gold, and the hills were quiet. He walked out alone, staff in hand, cloak wrapped around his shoulders. Some say he walked toward the east, where the sky was opening in light. Others say he climbed to the highest ridge above the valley. But wherever he went, he did not return. People searched for him. His family called his name. Days passed. No one found his body. No one found his staff. No blood, no bones, no sign of violence or wild beasts. He was simply gone. And then the message came. Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him. That was all the explanation given. God took him, not in death, not in fire, not in violence, but in love. Enoch did not taste death. He was the first man in history to leave the earth alive. God had drawn him so close, for so long, that heaven simply opened its gates, and Enoch walked right in. In a world full of graves, one man disappeared, not into shadow, but into glory. Enoch's story is quiet, but powerful. He built no tower, ruled no kingdom, led no army, yet he pleased God more than kings. Why? Because he walked with God. He lived in closeness, he listened, he obeyed, he loved the unseen more than the visible, and for that, heaven honored him. In the New Testament, it is written, "By faith, Enoch was taken away so that he did not see death, and was not found, because God had taken him. For before he was taken, he had this testimony, that he pleased God." Hebrews 11:5. And again Enoch, the seventh from Adam, prophesied, saying, "Behold, the Lord comes with 10,000s of his saints, to execute judgment." Jude 1:14, 15. His story may be short in the pages of the Bible, but its echo is long. So now the question turns to us. In a world full of noise, will you walk with God? In a time of distraction, will you choose his voice? If God looked down today, would he find in you the heart of Enoch, the man who walked with God, and kept walking, all the way into heaven?